I never thought a single conversation could change everything between my family and me. I had spent years quietly building my life, working multiple jobs, saving every penny, trying to create something for myself. My mom always believed in taking care of everyone but me, in ways that didn't make sense. But that day when she found out about my income, everything shifted, and not in a good way. It started with a text. A simple, casual message from my brother. "Mom's coming over. Don't say I didn't warn you." I froze for a moment. My brother, spoiled, entitled, the kind of person who had never lifted a finger in his life, had a way of announcing disasters before they hit. I didn't even reply. Instead, I tried to finish the work I was doing, telling myself it's probably nothing. But the look on his face when he walked in 30 minutes later told me it was everything. Mom was behind him, dressed in her usual floral blouse, hair perfectly pinned, but her eyes had that edge that made me immediately uncomfortable. There was a strange mix of pride and expectation in her smile, the kind you get when someone discovers a hidden treasure and thinks it belongs to them. "Hello, sweetheart," she said, stepping into my small apartment, eyes scanning every corner like she was evaluating how I'd spent my money. "I hear you've been doing very well for yourself lately." I swallowed hard. "Mom, But she interrupted, placing a hand on my shoulder, leaning in slightly as if she were trying to read my soul. "Don't be shy. I know about your income. And I've been thinking, it's time you share it. With me, of course." Froze. The words didn't sound real. They sounded like something from a nightmare, yet here they were, real, tangible, and horrifying. Before I could respond, my brother chimed in, smirking like a predator who already knew the outcome. "Come on, you've got enough money to spare. Don't be selfish. Big bro mom deserves it." I wanted to laugh, or maybe scream, but neither emotion came out. Instead, I felt my chest tighten. All these years I'd struggled, saving every dollar, working hard, dreaming about finally living my life without anyone leeching off it. And now they were here with those expectant eyes, ready to take what I'd earned. "Mom," I finally said, voice trembling slightly, "this is my hard work. I've spent years building it. I can't. She cut in, eyebrows raised, voice dangerously calm. "Sweetheart, that's not how families work. You owe your family. We took care of you growing up, didn't we? You're not going to forget that, are you?" Her words were like a knife, but it wasn't just the words, it was the tone. That mix of righteousness and entitlement that made it clear she thought I was wrong for even considering keeping my own money. My brother leaned against the wall, crossing his arms, grinning. "Yeah, come on. You're rich now. Time to give back. Or are you really going to be that selfish?" I felt my mind race. I needed to stay calm. I needed to think. But the anger bubbling inside me was unstoppable. Every unfair birthday, every time my hard-earned success was downplayed, every moment my sacrifices were ignored, everything was flashing before my eyes. And just like that, I realized something. This wasn't just about money. It was about control, about respect, about them thinking they could walk into my life, take what they wanted, and leave me powerless. I took a deep breath. I looked at my mom and my brother, two people I loved yet felt trapped by, and I made a decision. I was going to fight back. But I knew this fight wouldn't be easy. They were my family. They knew me. They knew my weaknesses. And they would use every trick in the book to get what they wanted. Yet deep inside, a fire ignited. This was my life, my rules. And no one, not even my mom or my spoiled brother, was going to take it from me without consequences. I didn't know exactly how I would do it yet. But I knew one thing for certain. Revenge wasn't just coming. It was inevitable. And that's when I smiled. Only, quietly, like a storm ready to break. "Let's talk," I said. "But on my terms." And that's when the real story began. That night I couldn't sleep. My mom's words kept echoing in my head like a ticking clock. "You owe your family." The phrase dug into me deeper than I wanted to admit. It wasn't just the demand, it was the guilt. She knew exactly where to strike. By morning, she and my brother were still in my apartment, acting like they owned the place. Mom had made tea using my kitchen without asking. My brother had opened my laptop, scrolling through my files like he was inspecting evidence. "Wow," he said, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Look at all these transactions. You've really been hiding this from us, huh?" Clenched my jaw. "Close that. Now." He looked at me, smiling. "Or what?" Mom turned from the counter, teacup in hand, voice calm as ice. "Don't talk to your brother like that. He's just curious. We're family. We share everything, remember?" Family. That word had lost its meaning for me long ago. I sat down at the table, breathing slowly, trying not to explode. "Mom," I said, "I've helped before. I paid your rent when you needed it. I cleared his car loan. I've done my part. I'm not your bank." Her expression didn't change. "We raised you. We gave you everything. You think you can just turn your back now?" I met her gaze. "No. But I won't be used anymore." Silence. For a few seconds no one moved. Then, as if on cue, my brother stood up, grabbed his jacket and laughed. "Fine. Keep your money. But don't come running when things fall apart." He left, slamming the door behind him. Mom stayed seated. Her voice softened. "He's angry, but he'll understand. You've always been the good one. You'll do the right thing." I looked at her and felt something shift inside me. For years she had played this role, gentle, caring, yet manipulative, always twisting guilt into obedience. And I had always given in. Till now. That night I got a call from my bank. A large withdrawal attempt from my account. Unauthorized. I knew exactly who it was. My brother. I didn't call him. I didn't even call my mom. Instead, I quietly went to work. I changed my passwords, transferred my savings to a new account, and installed cameras in my apartment. For the first time, I wasn't reacting. I was preparing. Days passed. My mom kept calling, her tone changing from sweet to threatening. "You're breaking this family apart," she said once, voice trembling with anger. "Do you even care what happens to us?" But every call only made me stronger. I realized they weren't family anymore, they were takers. And takers never stop until you show them pain. Then one afternoon my brother showed up again. This time alone. His face was red, eyes wild. "You told the bank I was a thief," he shouted. I didn't move. "You are a thief." He took a step closer, fists clenched. "You think you're better than us. Just because you got lucky. Everything you have is because of Mom. You owe her your life." I stood calm but firm. "And she owes me mine. I'm done being her backup plan." He laughed bitterly. "You're gonna regret this." Maybe. But not the way he thought. Because while he was busy trying to intimidate me, I was already one step ahead. I had recorded every conversation, every threat, every word. The truth was on my side now. That night, I visited my mother's house. She was sitting in the living room, pretending to be calm, sipping tea like everything was normal. "Mom," I said quietly, "we need to talk." She smiled, relieved. "I knew you'd come around. How much will you send me this month?" I placed a small USB drive on the table. "Nothing. But maybe you'll want to hear this first." She looked confused. I pressed play on my phone. My brother's voice filled the room. "You told the bank I was a thief? You are a thief. You're gonna regret this." Her face turned pale. What is this?" she whispered. "Proof," I said coldly. "Proof that he's been stealing from me. Proof that you knew." She stood up, shaking her head. "You wouldn't dare." "I already did. The bank has the recordings. And the police will too, if either of you ever come near my money again." The silence that followed was heavy, like the air itself had turned to stone. My mom's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness but of disbelief. "You destroy your own family," she whispered. I stared at her. "No. You destroyed it the day you stopped being one." I walked out. I didn't look back. But the story didn't end there. Because revenge isn't just about getting even. It's about making them feel what they made you feel. And I wasn't done yet. Days turned into weeks. and life finally began to feel like it was mine again. No calls from my mom, no interruptions from my brother, no fake smiles masking entitlement. I had set boundaries and enforced them. But boundaries alone aren't revenge. They just protect you. I wanted more. I wanted them to understand, to feel the weight of their choices. Started subtly. I didn't call them, I didn't answer texts, I didn't respond to their guilt trips. I let silence speak louder than any words could. And slowly the cracks began to show. Mom called one evening, hesitantly. "Sweetheart, can we talk?" I didn't pick up. Instead, I sent a message. "If you really want to talk, come to my office tomorrow." Alone. She came the next day, sitting stiffly across from me in a cafe I'd chosen carefully. A neutral place, no advantage for either of us. Her eyes darted everywhere but at me. "You've been avoiding me," she said, voice soft but nervous. "I've been observing," I replied calmly. Your intentions, your greed. And now, I want you to see the consequences." Her lips trembled, but she didn't speak. I pulled out my phone, pressed play, and handed her the device. The recordings of every confrontation, every theft, every manipulative demand, they all played in crystal clear sound. Her face went pale. The confident, entitled woman I grew up with looked like a child who had just been scolded. Is this true?" she whispered. "Yes, Mom. And yes, you allowed it to happen. You ignored it. You enabled it. And now you feel powerless, don't you?" Tears formed in her eyes. Not the guilty tears I expected, but fear, shock, and finally understanding. For the first time, she realized that she had underestimated me. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't scream. I simply watched her crumble under the weight of truth. That's the most satisfying part of revenge. Seeing the arrogance fade into realization. Then my brother's part came. He had heard what happened. I didn't confront him personally. Instead, I let him face the repercussions naturally. His friends, those who had encouraged his behavior, started distancing themselves once they learned about the truth. His pride, built on lies and entitlement, was dismantling piece by piece. The final blow wasn't cruel. It was inevitable. They had underestimated me. And now, the respect they thought they commanded was gone. Weeks later, my mom sent a message. It was short. "I understand. I'm sorry." I didn't reply. Some apologies need to be earned. Some people need to realize the cost of their actions before words mean anything. I looked at my life now. Quiet, peaceful, my hard work intact. No one could touch what I had built. And the satisfaction wasn't just about money. It was about proving that standing up for yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Revenge isn't always about dramatic confrontations or public humiliation. Sometimes it's quiet, controlled, and precise. It's letting the truth reveal itself while keeping your own integrity intact. That's the kind of revenge that leaves scars, not on you, but on those who doubted your worth. A month later, I walked past my mom's house on the street. She was in the garden, trying to fix a small fence. My brother was inside, fiddling with his phone. They looked up when they saw me, hesitating, unsure how to react. I smiled briefly, calm and composed, and kept walking. No words, no anger. Just the quiet reminder that I was finally free. And that's when I realized, revenge isn't about making someone suffer endlessly. It's about reclaiming your life. About showing that no matter how close someone is to you, if they betray your trust, they will face the consequences. I stopped at the corner, watching them through the window for a moment, and then turned away. My heart was light. My mind was clear. And my life, finally, was truly mine. Because sometimes, the most powerful revenge is the one that restores your peace and